Hey, everybody. Want to do a little video here on one of my favorite parts of educating people. And being one of the only educators out there that remains accountable to you is such an important thing. Everybody else sells you a course, a book, whatever, whatever else they sell you, and they leave you on your own. And I just found that doesn't work. And these students that I spend the most amount of time with, and that sign up for my full mentoring program, there's really a lot of aha moments that happen, and I want to share with you, particularly um, one of my favorite times when I first start educating people, and that's when they have their first aha moment. Now, in case you don't know, I teach people by giving them a video lesson and a live class on the weekend, and then during the week they send me their homework. Okay, so I want to just go through two of my newest students right now, and show you one of the very first, if not most important, aha moments that they have. And so one of these guys, Craig, he's an IT guy, a little bit more mature. He's probably in his late 30s. The other guy's a little bit younger, and not immature by any sense of the imagination. But you know, when I say immature, what I actually mean is that impatient. When we're younger, we tend to be extremely impatient. We want things now, and we believe that we should have those things, and we should have those things right away, right? And so that's what I mean by maturity level. I just meant what I mean by, and not all young people. Some people are very, very patient. But as a generalization, younger people, when you're younger, you want instant gratification, right? And that's okay to feel like that. It's normal when you're younger. When you get a little bit older, and you learn that life doesn't always work like that. Um, you reach a different level of maturity, right? I'm still very immature. I still want instant gratification. Okay, enough with the conversation. Anyways, let's get on to the point I'm trying to make. So, this is one of the points that I really love, and one of the reasons why I love being an educator. Because when my students have this particular moment, and believe me, my students have lots of moments, but this is just one particular moment. So, here's their homework from last night. So, Craig said, here's Eric's trades and his homework from last night. And, what I do is I go through these and I correct any mistakes. Now, I want to just show you what you're looking at here because it's important to understand. You see these little arrows here? Um, my students will draw those arrows in when they see that there is an opportunity for them to trade. So, in other words, at this point in time during the day, he knew that this was a good level to trade off of if price got back there. At this time of the day, if price got back there at any point in time, he knew this was a good time to trade. Here, if price got back here, he knew he should trade. Here, if price got back here, he knew he should trade. Here, if price got back here, he knew he should trade. So here, if price gets back here, he knew he should trade. And here, before it even happened, I want this to be very, very crystal clear. He knew that he should have a trade here. Now, that's not that everything that goes into it, but that's pretty much it. And you can see the market will usually always have a reaction. Does every trade work? No, it doesn't. But the market will always have a reaction. Again, you can see here all these levels. This level here was drawn in before price got here and reacted here. Okay, this is the power of what I teach people. Okay, again, before price got here, he knew, and before price got here, that if price got here, there was going to be a price reaction. These were drawn in beforehand. Okay, You can see here I can go through all of these. Here's his homework. And again, before Price got here, he knew that there was going to be a reaction right here. And look at, boom, off it goes. Okay? So this is the kind of stuff that I teach people. All right? And it's extremely powerful. Extremely, extremely powerful. But let me go back to the conversation, because this is what I love about teaching. So notice the conversation here, and I said, days like today, you should have banked big, or yesterday. And Eric, the younger guy, says, can't wait to start trading. you know, like I said, there's nothing wrong with being younger and wanting to make money, right? And so Craig says, yeah, you would have made a lot of money on those trades. Now, these aren't trades, by the way. These are just what I'm actually teaching people to do, is I'm teaching people actually how to recognize important levels, right? And so I want you to follow the conversation here, because it's really important. More importantly, you would have known those are good trades. You are teaching your brain to know the difference between good edges, average edges, and poor edges. Now, the only thing stopping you is you and your ability to be patient. Okay? So, Eric says, great lessons. I really need to work on being patient. Now, I want you to notice what I'm saying here. Okay? Because this is really super important. This is just a habit. You build it slowly over time, like every other habit. That's what trading is. And I have a saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you do it one day at a time. You commit to not trading today unless you have a huge edge. Then you do it for one day. You do it again tomorrow. And you do it one day at a time, and in 30 days from now, you have a new habit. So here's the thing. This young man, who is an impatient trader and came to me and told me openly that he's an impatient trader, he likes to have a lot of action. I said, so basically you're 30 days away from your career as a trader. But the secret is, if you break it for even one day, you must start over again. All right? So in other words, you show up today and you have two choices. You can look for huge edges, or you can show up and look for trades. Because if you just show up looking for trades, you're going to find them. That's not a problem. There's always trades, right? But are those edges going to be sufficient enough for you to overcome commission, to overcome slippage, to overcome all the costs involved and everything that is... Uh-oh. Alright, it just got filled on something there, which is really strange. Well, there's such a difference between Forex charting platforms. On my IB account, 129, I was short and I just got filled. But I don't know if you're watching this in real time. On Thinkorswim, which is the trading platform behind me, it still hasn't hit that level. There's an arbitrage opportunity there. Let me tell you something. Thinkorswim, you're dropping the ball. Not that you can trade. So I could have spot this on Thinkorswim at 129.97 and sold it at the exact same time and captured 3 pips worth of arbitrage just like that. Anyways, get back to the point. So the secret is, you will always find trades, right? But will you find great trades like this? Look at this. I was short this market, right? And I just got my fill there, right? So there you have it, right? Sorry, I got distracted there. Let me get back on track. It's almost 10 minutes. I'm trying to keep my videos 10 minutes. So the difference is between the life you want and the life you have is your ability to be patient, right? And only exploit those opportunities where you have massive edge, right? Now, I I wish I took my own advice because sometimes, um, you know, I don't listen to my own advice, right? Sometimes I will just trade randomly because, and I have a lot of experience, and sometimes being um, being smarter isn't always a good thing, right? And you know, there are traders out there that have to remain active, right? And I happen to have that personal part of my personality where I like to be active. But I can tell you this. When I do listen to my own advice, right, and I just wait and wait and wait and wait and only trade really super easy trades like the Canadian dollar, right, here today, if I just wait for those, I always make massive amounts of money, right? So life does get in the way. And so what do I do when I start breaking those rules? Well, what do I do very easily is I just go back to the advice I've given. I go on a 30-day plan. I say, so let's say I over traded yesterday, and I was like, okay, I'm really upset at myself. I over traded, paid way too much in commission. What do? I say, okay, well, I'm 30 days away from building that habit again, right? So what do I have to do today? Well, today I have to show up and I have to commit to only trading today if I have super easy trades like short here on the dollar CAD. Right, that was really easy trade. This is easy money, right? And so I have to commit to that, and then I have to do it. Now the trick is that if I break that habit tomorrow, I have to start all over again. So I can't. But it will take on average 30 days of doing something in order to build a habit. So even when you break the habit, you got to go back and start all over again, right? And that's what I do, because a lot of times when I'm, even here it is so many years later, I still will occasionally break my rules and I'll break my habit. But it never gets too serious because, yeah, I can have, some drawdowns, but I always know, okay, all I got to do is go back to my 30-day plan, right? And then I just have to do it one day at a time. Okay, so long story short, how do you eat an elephant? One day at a time. What's the secret to discipline? What's the secret to following your rules? You got to do it one day at a time for 30 days until it becomes a habit. You don't need to go buy any psychology books. You don't need to go and do anything else. It's just break it down and use sheer willpower one day at a time. That's all you got to do. Okay? Anyways, I love it when my students have there. The single advice here will have you thousands, tens of thousands in losses. I wish I had someone tell me this when I started 1.5 years ago. This is super helpful advice, Steve. So this is why I teach people, okay? This is why I teach. I teach because I love it when I can help a young man, two young men, right? When I can help two young men, are these guys going to be super rich? I don't know. But I do know this. Their days of losing money are over. They're over. Because now that I've shown them, or beginning to show them, what is right and what is wrong, and they know the difference, now it's up to them, right? Will they still make mistakes? Yes, they will still make mistakes. But I'm giving them something that they can do in the future when they run into problems, when they run into difficulties, right? Because I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. And I'm giving them processes, not just understanding it mentally, but actually giving them processes which will help them have a 37 career like me. And hopefully, make as much money. I actually hope they make a lot more money than me. Anyways, this video's gone on 5 minutes longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully you stayed for it all because it was worth it. Okay, thank you. Very happy to help Eric and Craig, and I love it. There's many more aha moments like this, and you can only get stuff like that, guys, when you have one-on-one coaching like this. It makes a big difference. Okay, thank you, and bye for now.